video is for all women, but especially those who do not have brothers. Hi, my name is Apoorva, and we discuss all things feminine energy and womanhood on this channel. So if you are interested, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn the notifications on so that you do not miss any of my upcoming videos. In our society, parents tend to expect their sons to perform certain duties. Often women who do not have brothers tend to have parents who try to raise them like they would have raised a son. Now, treating your daughter exactly the same way as you would treat a son is not the same as treating her like she is not less than a son. Your parents telling you that they have treated you as well as they would have treated a son, and so you must do everything that they would have expected a son to do for them, is so harmful to you as a woman. And I do not say this lightly. It is unfair not just because it comes from this inherent belief that sons are superior to daughters, but when you are expected to do everything that a man would do, it crushes your feminine instincts. As a woman with a feminine core, it is more likely than not that things that give you the greatest happiness and joy are different from the things that give an equal amount of happiness and joy to a man. So when a man is expected to do something, even if it is something that he doesn't want for himself, but if it is in alignment with his masculine core, then at least he would be able to do it without really going against his own biological makeup. Now, when a woman is asked to do the same things, it's not just that she perhaps doesn't want to do those things, but because they are not in alignment with her feminine core, it is possible that it would affect her physical, mental, and emotional health. When your feminine traits are not valued and you are expected to only express your masculine traits, then it robs you of your femininity. Our parents usually just have expectations from us. They don't try to see things from our point of view. They seem to think that we owe them solely because they brought us into this world. They don't ask us what our dreams are. It is rare for parents in our culture to acknowledge the emotional responsibilities that they have towards us. They just seem to have a lot of dreams that they did not fulfill themselves because they were busy doing everything that their parents asked them to do, and so now they expect you to do the same and to fulfill their dreams. Also, parents tend to want their daughters to pursue the same kinds of careers that they would have expected their sons to pursue. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot pursue the same kinds of careers as men can. The thing is that for women, it has an impact on our bodies. We are cyclical beings, and our hormones fluctuate throughout the month. We are more emotional. So when a man is exposed to a certain level of stress, then his testosterone increases. But when we are exposed to that level of stress, that same level of stress, our progesterone decreases. It means that A, we get burnt out, and B, our bodies suffer because we are not biologically made to withstand that same level of stress. High levels of stress can disturb our cycles and our fertility. And so, even if you are able to pursue the same kinds of careers as men do, it doesn't affect their bodies the way it does affect yours. Look, we are not here to prove anything to anyone. So if you are pursuing a career because it is something that gives you the greatest joy and happiness, then it's great, whatever it is. But if you are doing it only because you want to feel that you are just as good as a man is, then you are failing yourself. Maybe your parents don't understand these things. Maybe they are just busy thinking that they are just as good as any other set of parents who have sons who are doing X, Y, or Z in their lives. It is not about showing people how good you are. It is about your own happiness. It is about your own contentment. Your parents treating you well in spite of you being a girl does not mean that they've done you some kind of favor. And I think these days parents have taken it to the next level because they've started expecting their daughters to not just pursue certain careers, but they expect their daughters to financially provide for them. And the problem here is that a woman has many seasons in her life. Maybe if she chooses to be a mother, she would want to spend more time with the child. Maybe she would not be interested in pursuing that career because it is too hectic for her. Then trying to shame her for not wanting to go out and work. And especially this happens when you have mothers who have been homemakers and then they feel that they don't want their daughters to have the same kind of life. But the thing is that these women just associate being a homemaker with being inferior or being less than a man, and so they just do not understand that even if even if their daughter has certain opportunities in her life, she still is a woman and she has a feminine core, and it means that she would have the same instincts. Especially as a mother, she would have certain instincts. She would want to do certain things in her life which do not happen to be in alignment with that hyper independent career woman archetype that we see very often in our society. Women are expected to be superwomen these days. So you would be expected to be a wonderful homemaker and a mother and also have a wonderful career and still not complain, and not complain that you are burnt out. And it is almost like you are shamed if you want to choose just one of those two things, and you are shamed even more if you choose to go for a less hectic a less hect a less hectic lifestyle. And I often hear this phrase, she is not our daughter, she is our son. I mean, as if being a daughter makes you inferior by default. People just don't understand what a feminine woman brings to the table. They do not acknowledge her femininity, they do not value it. Remember that choosing and pursuing a career has to be your choice. It should not be something that you are guilted into doing. You do not owe anything to anyone, and it is not your duty to do something to deserve the love of your parents. Since our society has had this belief that sons are better than daughters, our fathers often do not want to be seen as being at a disadvantage because they don't have a son. So they tend to encourage the masculine qualities in their daughters while disregarding their feminine qualities. Also, mothers who have been treated badly by their parents and been treated as less than their brothers have this urge to live vicariously through their daughters by wanting their daughters to do everything that a son would do. And basically, they do not seem to understand that You do not have to do the same things to be equal. If sons are not expected to be more like daughters to deserve to be treated well by their parents, then why should daughters have to be more like sons to deserve good treatment? When your parents and society in general tells you that it is better to be more masculine, you start to disregard your own femininity. You do not respect it, you do not value it, and you are ashamed of it. Also, when you have these kinds of beliefs, you tend to not value what your mother does. In fact, she doesn't value herself for what she brings to the table. And so, no matter how masculinized you are, when you as a woman happen to desire certain things in life and a certain kind of lifestyle which may be somewhat similar to that of your mother, you feel guilty in desiring that, and you feel that you do not value what you have, what is available to you. Also, when it comes to fathers, instead of showing their daughters what good men look like, they tend to instill this fear in their daughters that men cannot and should not be trusted, and that it is better for a woman to be completely independent. Maybe this is because they do know how they have been treating their wives, and they do not desire the same kind of treatment for their daughters. Maybe they themselves believe that men are not to be trusted. But you must know that good men do exist. These are men who are in their divine masculine energy, and they can be trusted and can be relied upon. Do not let your father's or anyone else's fears cloud your opinion of men. Humans are not meant to be independent, and independence anyway should be a choice and not something that stems from a place of fear. If you try to do everything that a man does, your body would not support it, and you would get disconnected from your femininity and exhaust yourself. Remember that you cannot be as good as a man at being a man. So instead of swimming against the current, it is better for you to embody your feminine energy and honor your biological makeup. Remember that your parents might never encourage you to be more feminine, but you do not need their permission. Remember that as a woman, it is your birthright to be feminine. So own your truth. Validation from other people does not give you true happiness. It has to come from within. If you are not living in alignment with your natural disposition, then you are fighting yourself. So forget what other people think or say. Do what you want to do. Be who you want to be. So live life on your own terms and prioritize your own happiness. Remember that your truth matters. You matter. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You do not need to prove that you are as good as a son. There is no competition here. Remember that there is immense beauty in being a woman. So honor your natural gifts as a woman and cherish them and love them. And if you found this video helpful, then comment down below and let me know. Also, give it a big thumbs up and share it with all your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And other than that, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.